Good evening, Kentuckiana. Chief Meteorologist Mallory Schnell here at WHAS 11, along with meteorologist John Gordon, retired from the National Weather Service here. We're here with another severe weather update to get you through this weather impact alert day. We have been tracking storms off to our south, off to our west, some of them tornado warned, some of them producing confirmed tornadoes that we just saw around the Memphis area, it looked like. So we're going to walk you through our outlook for tonight. We're going to take a deeper dive into some of the storms that we're looking at now to give you kind of that updated look at what we're expecting throughout this evening. Of course, I know you've seen this time and time again, our severe weather outlook for today and tonight, certainly a heightened one, that level 5 out of 5 in that pink or purple color, and that's definitely coming true in areas like Memphis today. We're in that red or orange color, level 3 or 4 out of 5, and that will take us through the wee morning hours tomorrow morning. So we're talking about an overnight severe weather event here. Now, our look at our satellite and radar here, you can see a lot of activity that's been going on just to our west. Just take a look at that lightning. You can tell it's factoring into a lot of fuel there tonight. And those translucent reds there, those are your tornado watches that are stretched really from the Great Lakes down to East Texas, falling in line with where that severe weather outlook was really lined up with. Those smaller polygons, of course, those are your active warnings in terms of thunderstorm warnings in that yellow or gold color, red tornado warnings just off to our west, and green flash flood warnings. And unfortunately, here in Kentuckiana, we'll likely see all three of those as we head into tonight. We are included in a tornado watch. This will take us through 2 o'clock in the morning. You can see this runs for basically our entire viewing area outside of Adair County here. So that is why we do want you to stay weather alert. As we have mentioned before, nocturnal tornadoes, nighttime events are particularly dangerous because you can't see those storms nearly as well. Many people happen to be sleeping, and we are tracking some pretty dangerous storms on the radar out there tonight. So the one that we've been paying attention to is now northeast of Evansville, heading toward Jasper, Indiana. And I know, John, you've had eyes on this one for quite some time here. What have you been seeing?
Yeah, that's the storm of note. So that moving up in northeast at 55, it's going to pass a hair west of Jasper. It goes up, the tornado warning from Paducah goes all up against the Du Bois County. Mm-hmm. That thing has got a very good, you see the hook echo there. It's coming back around. Mm-hmm. What happened was the storm was very tornadic. It kind of cut off itself. It's reforming right where she's drawing right now. That's the area. There's probably a tornado about to form. It's moving off to the northeast at 55. It will probably come very close to Du Bois County and possibly miss at one county to the north there. That is the most significant storm of all. If you look at the leading edge, there's a big line of storms that go all the way from Indianapolis down along the Mississippi River down to Memphis. Mm-hmm. On the leading edge of that line, all the storms, the one down by Murray, Kentucky is another storm of note, the one off right down there. Mm-hmm. And that storm is on the leading edge. That thing's also rotating. If you go further off to the one that's very interesting is just to the southwest of Evansville, and that storm is bowing pretty strongly right there, and they got a tornado warning just west of Morganfield, west of Point. What's the big deal for us? You see that completely go back around to that's got what's called a bookend vortice. That's a rotating tornado on the northwest side of the storm. This is all going to get here in Kentuckiana right around between 11 and 1 o'clock tonight. This is going to contain extremely heavy rain. There will be severe thunderstorm warnings. There will be flash flood warnings. And the question is, as we do the kinks and knobs, everything, will we get anything there?
Yeah, I mean, so, you know, if you compare this to Sunday, obviously we have a lot more alerts, it looks like, on this line compared to Sunday night, a lot more shear to work with. But similar to Sunday night, if you were watching coverage, we all had that line of storms that rolled through here, and we had those embedded tornado warnings within them. So it was wherever the National Weather Service saw that rotation. We ended up with 9 tornado warnings on Sunday night, 5 confirmed tornadoes. So the office did a great job with those. This is difficult to warn for, these kind of linear segments here. But that leading edge, that's what you really have to pay attention to. It'll continue to rain behind that, but you're focused on that leading edge where you see those notches in that leading line that will cause those tornado warnings to be issued and tornadoes to potentially develop as well.
So the conditions are really ripe right now. The low-level winds are 50 to 60 miles an hour at 5,000 feet. The winds are over 100 miles an hour at 30,000 feet. We have a lot of moisture. We have a lot of lift with the cold front moving to the east and this big jet stream that's going to help increase the lift on these storms. So I really believe there's a strong, strong wind threat around 11 to 1 a.m. And also flash flood is on the table. we'll see if we issue any tornado warnings.
We did have some good news, though, with those few renegade cells that we were watching earlier this evening. If you were watching us at 6 o'clock during that newscast, we were watching those cells that were coming out of Tennessee, and that rain shield just completely cut them off around Bowling Green.
That really saved the bacon. That was a big thing. And look at that one left mover. You got right movers and left movers. Left movers are an indication of hail. Right movers, if they can keep going, are into tornadoes. But that rain shield saved our area from Grayson and Breckenridge. That's some very good news. With the loop that Mallory's got on right now, that stuff's moving east, northeast. It's coming. It's not, it might come, it is coming. So between 11 and 1, 11 and 2, it's going to be raining the 65 corridor. Folks in Elizabethtown, Shepherdsville, Louisville, our friends in Sellersburg, Floyd's Knobs, over to Sulphur, English, it's coming before you know it.
And really, it's right on our doorstep, but as you and I were kind of talking about, it's moving east, but it's also kind of moving in that northeastern direction, so that slows down the pace a bit in terms of approaching our area and kind of cutting through Kentuckiana. So that's why we do have you staying weather alert for the next several hours, because it's going to take some time for this to really cut through here. And as we were mentioning, of course, we are worried about the severe weather threat and the tornado threat, but we're also really concerned about this flooding threat, because tonight, as that front even stalls out into the overnight hours, flooding will be a more increased threat here and beyond this, because as you've been listening to the forecast all this week, we've been talking about days and days of waves of rain that we're expecting with this stalled out front here. So we're expecting river levels to rise and impacts to be felt throughout the weekend. So we want you to stay weather alert, not only tonight, but for the coming days, because it's a very active week of weather.
Absolutely. The rivers are going to be a big problem. I worry about my friends in West Point. That always floods.
Yes.
The Green River, if you're in Woodbury, down by Rough River Lake, these are going to be a big problem. We start with severe weather. We transition to, it won't rain for 4 days in a row. We'll have waves of it.
Yes. So we will get some dry time in here. It really depends on where that sets up. Looks like it could nudge northward a little bit Friday night into Saturday morning and then come back over us before finally washing out to our southeast as we head into Sunday. So if you're looking for that complete dry time, that will be early next week when we'll all be enjoying some of that sunshine. Yes, a lot of moisture to work with here, not only tonight, but throughout the week. So we are expecting several inches of rainfall from this long duration event.
Some good news for the thunder over Louisville. The biggest rainfall maximum will be southwest of us, which means that goes away from us down towards the Mississippi, lower Mississippi. So that is some good news, but everyone's getting a bunch of rain.
Oh, yeah. And we also have meteorologist Matt Breland in with us in the Weather Center here, and I know he's been fielding any sort of questions on Facebook Live. Do you have any updates to bring us or any questions that were put in the chat there?
Yeah, some people are wondering exactly like how much rainfall we are expecting by the end of the storm, total-wise.
Through Sunday?
Through Sunday.
I mean, I've been saying 6 to 10.
I like that number.
12 would be probably more so off to our southwest. Unfortunately, Paducah, western Kentucky, a lot of the same areas that were under that high risk for severe weather today will really have that 1-2 punch of the severe weather and then the flooding beyond that.
Look at our friends in Adair County in Columbia. They might only get 2 to 3 inches of rain. Then you go down across Breckenridge, Grayson, they could be 10, 11 inches.
So we're going to see a spread throughout the state, especially. Good news for the eastern Kentucky folks. I know they've been through a lot, and they don't need any more flooding. But unfortunately, our friends in western Kentucky will really be dealing with it this week. So I do just want to recap the radar one more time, and then we'll kind of wrap things up here and just give you an idea of what we've been watching for you this evening. So as we've been talking, we are waiting for that line of storms off to our west. Thankfully, those few renegade cells off to our south and southwest that were in south central Kentucky, those went poof. That rain shield really helped us out. So now we're really just waiting on this line segment with these embedded, I mean, you can just see the embedded warnings right now and the embedded tornadoes that we're watching here.
Yeah, that storm, if you're friends in Evansville, so you have two different things going on. You have the one that's straddling Du Bois County, but if you go to the west of Evansville, that storm right there, that's a classic supercell with a wraparound bookend vortice. You can almost see the bookend on the northwest side. So there's going to be two different areas. You see that new tornado warning going towards Mount Vernon. Poor Mount Vernon got an F3 last year. That's a very dangerous storm as well. We are not done. That's all moving to the east. Before you know it, it's going to be in our western counties. Over there, our friends in Breckenridge and Grayson County, over towards Hancock and Meade. It's coming before you know it.
Yeah, so this is really the calm before the storm for us, just for the next little bit here. And now is the time to, once again, make sure your phone is charged, make sure you know where to go if there's a warning that is issued for your area. We got 3 sets of eyeballs on the radar this evening, and once again, if there is a tornado warning, we will cut into coverage on ABC. We will stay with you until that tornado warning has wrapped up for us, and that's for anywhere in the Kentuckiana viewing area. So just a heads up on that. You know, if this line somehow behaves and we don't have tornado warnings, we may continue to do more of these streams where we're talking about the severe thunderstorm threat, because wind, hail, rain, still things that we're concerned about. But we're going to keep a close eye on this. We'll have more updates throughout the overnight hours. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll be talking to you soon.